let's talk about something we've all done. You go outside at night, you look up, and you just see, well, a ton of tiny lights. But what are you really looking at? We're about to go on a little journey to figure out our place in all of that, starting right here from our own backyard.
I mean, it's something we've all done, right? You just step outside on a clear night and bam, the sky is just full of these little shining dots. Some are super bright, some are barely there. It's beautiful. But it makes you wonder, what are all those things and how far away are they, really?
You know, what's really amazing is that when you do that, you're doing the exact same thing people have done for thousands of years, just looking up, full of wonder, trying to figure it all out. From the earliest astronomers to you and me, the big questions haven't really changed.
Okay, so let's start to get a handle on this. Let's put some names to what we're seeing. Everything up there, the sun, the moon, all those twinkling lights, they actually have a single name that covers the whole lot of them.
And that name is celestial bodies. Sounds a bit formal, but it's just the catch-all term for everything shining up in the sky. So let's use that as our starting point. From here, we can begin to unpack what makes them all so different. All right, and here's the first big, and I mean really big difference you need to know. Not everything up there is the same. It all boils down to one simple question. Is it making its own light, or is it basically just a mirror? So let's look at the two sides of the coin. First, you've got stars. These are the powerhouses of the universe. They're huge, they're hot, they're made of gas, and most importantly, they make their own heat and light. Our sun, that's our star. Then you have planets. They're totally different. They don't make any light of their own. They only shine because they're reflecting the light from a star. It's pretty cool. The word planet actually comes from the Greek for wanderer because ancient folks saw them moving around against the backdrop of the stars. And, well, that's us. We're on a planet, right? Earth. And this is where your mind starts to bend a little. Think about this. Almost every single one of those twinkling dots you see in the night sky is another sun, just like ours, a giant burning ball of gas. The only reason they look like tiny little specks of light is because they are just unbelievably, ridiculously far away from us. So what did people do with all these stars? Well, for ages, they played connect the dots, creating patterns we call constellations. And these weren't just pretty pictures in the sky. They were super practical. For example, some constellations have pointer stars that lead you right to the North Star or pole star. And that little star was a game changer because it always points north. It was basically the original GPS for sailors and explorers. Okay, so we've been looking way, way out at all those distant suns. Let's pull back a bit. Let's zoom in on our own little corner of the universe. It's time for a tour of our cosmic neighborhood, the solar system. I love this idea of the solar family. And like any family, it has a head, right? In this case, it's the sun. It's the big boss in the center, and its massive gravity holds the whole family together. And that family includes 8 planets, all their moons, and a bunch of other stuff like asteroids and meteoroids. And here it is, the family photo. You can see how all 8 planets are swinging around the sun. But notice, they're not moving in perfect circles. Their paths are more like ovals, a little stretched out. We call those paths orbits. It's the steady, predictable dance that really defines our solar system. Okay, trying to remember the order of all 8 planets can be a real headache. But don't worry, there's a super easy trick for it. Just remember this sentence. My very efficient mother just served us nuts. See? Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Perfect. So, our solar system has 2 distinct zones, you could say. First, you've got the inner planets. These are the small, rocky guys, all huddled up close to the sun. You've got Mercury, the little speedster, whipping around the sun in just 88 days. Then there's Venus, which gets called Earth's twin because it's about the same size, but trust me, you wouldn't want to visit. Then, of course, there's us, good old Earth. And last of the rocky crew is Mars, the famous red planet. Then you cross the asteroid belt and you get to the outer planets. And these are the giants. We're talking massive worlds made mostly of gas and liquid, and they're way out there. Jupiter is the king, no question. It's bigger than all the other planets put together. Then you've got Saturn, the one with those incredible rings. So beautiful. And then, way out in the deep freeze, you find Uranus and Neptune. Just to give you an idea of how far out they are, it takes Uranus 84 years to go around the sun just once. So that's the grand tour of the neighborhood. But now, let's head back home. After seeing all that,
all the different kinds of worlds, what is it about our planet Earth that makes it so, well, special?
Well, it really comes down to a few key things that are just right. You've probably heard of the Goldilocks zone, right? Earth is in it. Not too hot, not too cold. And because of that perfect temperature, we have water in liquid form, which is, absolutely essential. On top of that, we have an atmosphere that we can actually breathe with gases like oxygen. It's this perfect recipe that makes Earth so unique.
And all that water, it gives our planet its famous nickname. When you see pictures of Earth from space, it looks like a beautiful blue marble. And that's because about 2/3 of it is covered in water.
But we're not traveling through space all by ourselves. We have a partner, a constant companion on our trip around the sun, the moon. It's our one and only natural satellite. And the reason it looks so huge and bright in our sky, it's simply because it's our closest neighbor.
So how close is close? It's about 384,000 kilometers away. Now that sounds like a massive number, and it is. But let's put it in perspective. The sun is 150 million kilometers away. Suddenly, the moon seems like it's right next door, doesn't it?
All right, so we've covered our planet, we've covered our solar family. Now it's time for one last big zoom out. Let's see where our little neighborhood fits into the, well, everything else.
So, besides the planets, our solar system is filled with all sorts of other stuff. You have asteroids, which are these big chunks of rock. Most of them hang out in a belt between Mars and Jupiter. Then you have meteoroids, which are smaller bits of rock and dust floating around. And every now and then, one of these little guys hits our atmosphere, burns up, and poof, you see what we call a shooting star.
Okay, so if the solar system is our neighborhood, what's our city? That would be our galaxy. A galaxy is a gigantic system with billions, yes, billions of stars, plus huge clouds of dust and gas. Our entire solar system is just one tiny speck inside a galaxy called the Milky Way. And what's bigger than a city? The whole world, right? Well, in this case, it's the universe. And the universe is everything. It's all of space, all of time, every single thing that exists. Millions and millions of galaxies, all contained within it. It's a scale that's almost impossible to really wrap your head around. So let's bring it all the way back. We started with just one little twinkle of light in the sky, and we zoomed all the way out to the entire universe. So when you really think about that address, you, on a planet, which is in a solar system, which is in a galaxy, which is just one of millions of galaxies, it leaves you with a pretty big question to think about, doesn't it? Where do you fit in all of that?